Great to have you all, guys. So let's go for it. I think we're about 4 or 5 minutes into this now. So I think it's a good time. Now, if you got my newsletter and also you saw this on Facebook, I did say to bring a pen and paper with you. Has everyone got a pen and paper? Because I want you to do this clearly. I mean, I do this with my clients, and it's really important to get this information down. So please go ahead and get a pen and paper. Don't use anything on your computer. I really don't think that's of value for this. I want you to really be able to write things down. I've got my notes in front of me to make it really clear. So we've got people on Periscope saying, yes, you've got that, and I hope we've got that everywhere else. Great, people are saying yes. So if you haven't got pen and paper, go ahead and get it now. Because the value behind this is that we're going to write this stuff down so we can really get going and shifting. But if you're not writing things down, the questions I'll be asking you will not make sense. You have to, each question will begin to go from the previous answers of the last question. So if you haven't got it, you'll get lost, and this is not going to be for you, this video. So please go ahead, get a pen and paper. That's the only way if you want to be successful from this. If you want to be successful, yeah, everyone's saying they've got it, so great to have you here. So, and to write these things down. So the reason why I'm doing this is I want to be able to give as much value as possible. There will be a reveal at the end, which is only going to be for a small amount of people, just to be upfront and clear. But at the end of the day, if anything, you're going to leave from this with absolute total or far more clarity than you've ever had before. You're going to get far more ideas and practical steps that if you take away and you start to apply this in your life, I really believe you're going to find significant changes in any area of your life. And the beautiful thing is, if you're experiencing more than one issue, the chances are they're all going to have an impact. They're going to be impacted on because everything is interconnected in some way. Maybe not completely and fully, but by letting go of the core thing, which is where we're heading to today, you will begin to really make big changes on all the other areas. It's like throwing a pebble into the pond. The ripples go everywhere, and like the ripples, that is every area of your life. So let's go straight for it. If you've got a pen and paper, what I'd like you to go ahead and do, I'm going to get mine right here. What we want to do is just write down number one. Okay, write down number one. And then I would like you to go ahead and do, and to go ahead and write this down as well. So number one. Why am I here right now in terms of showing up live? Okay, so in this point, you might be saying why I'm here is because I've got X, Y, Z. Now, usually I say do not think about, someone's actually saying about, does this apply to biological issues? Well, the mind and body is interconnected. I am no doctor, but I do know when you start to resolve conflicts in the mind, the physical body has to react to it in some way. So obviously it depends. You got to seek medical advice, which is always valuable and important and a must in my opinion. I work with doctors in the past, so yes, things do change. Like when you think of depression, you feel low, you feel depressed. That is a chemical happening there. But if we let go of the conflict, yes, things does change on the physical. So number one, I want you to write down, why am I here in terms of showing up live today? Okay, so why are you here? Now you could be saying things such as, well, Joseph, I'm here because I want to let go of anxiety. I'm here because I want to let go of a fear or doubt. And I want you just to do a quick fire of all the things that you want to really let go of, like the why you're here right now, showing up, paying attention. Now, usually I would say to not focus on what you don't want. Like I don't want to be more in debt. You know, you hear me all that. Say that all the time, but I do want you to go ahead and write down the symptoms that you may be experiencing. So it could be things like anxiety, or it could be, well, I want to let go of my mindset around debt, or I want to be able to let go of blushing or worry or interview nerves or a fear or a phobia, whatever it is for you. I want you to go ahead and write down exactly the type of things that you want to let go of. Now, you don't have to write it on the comments. It's okay to do that. But the main thing is to get a pen and paper. I've got mine down here in case anything pops up for me. I want you to write down what you specifically want to let go of, like the symptoms that you are experiencing. So I'm going to talk about that for a few minutes and then we're going to move to the next one. So the reason behind this, why you're writing it all down, is because we need to get that out. I need to know and you need to know the connections of everything. And let me write this down as an example. You see, right here, hopefully everyone can see it on the free cameras, we're going to have symptoms, these are S's by the way, if you can't tell, all in our life. We're going to have different things having an effect on us. So these are all symptoms that we experience. You're going to be experiencing more than one. It could be from the very small things, it could be absolutely anything. So these S's represent symptoms. So you want to write down on your pad the type of things that you would like to go, the symptoms we'll let go of, because they will be connected in some way on the whole. And if we let go of the core thing, all of these will begin to transform. So please go ahead and write down all your symptoms. And what it happens is we know what we're really working for and what we're going to be letting go of. So write down those. Now, beneath that, having done that, so even if it's a quick fire, go ahead and write down, let's see what I want you to write down, what you actually want this time. So what this does, I want you to write down what you want in the positive light. So if in the past it was, let me just put my pen and paper down. If we just wrote about our symptoms, we want to now begin to let go of those symptoms while also achieving something else. So it could be, well, I want to let go of anxiety, so I want to now experience calmness in my life, or wholeness, or peace, or love. And it could be even the physical things that you want to experience, like even the external things in your life. But what we're doing here is we're creating a difference between what you want, which let's say is here, and what you don't want, all the symptoms you've just put down on that piece of paper. If you begin to write down all your symptoms and then what you exactly want, you will begin to be able to see the difference and the things we have to do after this, which will allow that shift to happen. We're ultimately getting clear. Many people aren't that clear on their symptoms and what they want. So I want you to begin to write the differences, why you're here, what you want to let go of, and how you want to be different. So Greg said, would a symptom be something like social anxiety or resulting feelings from something like social anxiety? It could be both actually, Greg. So the symptoms could be like social anxiety. It is a symptom, and it might be a big one, but then you can write down the specifics that you experience in that situation. So it could be negative self-talk when you're there. It could be negative thoughts, or it could be sweating, for example. It could be heart palpitations. So yes, it could be the big and also the specific ones. So absolutely write down all the symptoms you experience, and also how you would like to be different, what you actually want to achieve in the future. So I want you to begin to see the differences between the two. When you do that, you will start to then get clarity. And like I said, one of the reasons behind this is not only getting clear, but what we're doing right now is we're getting clear at our unconscious level. We're getting clear consciously to send that down to our unconscious mind. When we begin to get that out in our mind, as I always say, the conscious mind is the goal setter. The unconscious mind is the goal getter. So some people are saying the screen might have frozen. It'll probably be your internet connection. It will resume in a second. But I want you to get in that consideration of I'm now getting clear at a conscious level to get my unconscious mind the signals that it needs, the things that it really wants. And what we're going to be doing is, I said, getting all those S's there. We're getting a good idea. We're getting the big picture of the type of things that you're now ready to let go of and the type of things you want to achieve. So go ahead and do that. And I've been talking in between these. I think it's really important. So Nina's saying Periscope is working very well. So that could be a bit better. So hey, Periscope, as always, thank you for the hearts. So go ahead and write down the symptoms and also how you'd like to be different. Okay, very simple. It may take a bit of time, but go ahead and do that. Now the next thing is number 2. Okay, number 2 there. I want you to notice, what is the main thing which is happening there? Out of all those symptoms, what would you say is the main thing? Now Greg said like social anxiety should I write down, or its symptoms. Well, you could say then in this question, the main thing is maybe the social anxiety, or it could be something else. Obviously everyone's different, everyone's showing up for different reasons, but I want you to just look over all your symptoms, look over all the things that you'd want, and notice the two main things that maybe a common theme or a thing which is creating the others. So for example, it could be, like I said with Greg, the social anxiety could be the main thing. So that would be one that you would maybe just highlight and put a circle around. So now we're just getting clear, we're getting more specific, we're kind of considering the type of things that we really want to achieve. So if I go back to my pen and paper 1 second, we're now saying we've got these symptoms here. So that's good, Mighty Doug, that's good. You can just write those down as well. So now we've got these symptoms here, and let's just say this was the social one. And then say, well, this is the main thing I want to let go of because maybe they're connected in some way. And we'll get clearer than that very soon. I know it looks pretty crazy here, but that's how my mind works when I'm thinking about these things. I try to write down the symptoms with my client, and then we try to figure out what's one of the key things. And we're going to build upon this very soon because it's going to be very important. But you want to just write down your key words or your key symptoms, and then just consider what's the main thing here, and also when it comes to what you'd like to achieve from this, write that down too. Okay, so your outcome, what's one of the key things that you would like to achieve. So that is one thing that we do there. So so far you've written down the symptoms, you've now got how you'd like to be different, and also you've got maybe the key things which seem to be a problem, like the main sticking points that you have. It could be just the one thing, it could be many things, but usually if you look at those, you'll get a little bit clearer as to what could be the big one. But if you haven't got that just yet, we're going there very soon, so don't worry about it. We'll be heading there very, very soon. So then I want you to go ahead and do is write down how long, there's number 3, how long you've had this issue for. Okay, how long have you had this issue for? So for some people it could be a day, it could be a week, it could be a year, it could be ever since we're 6 years old. It could be absolutely any time, but I want you just to write down, as you think of those symptoms, think about how you'd like to be, just notice how long you may have had that issue for. It's going to be important soon, I'm sure of that, when we get more clarity. So just go ahead and write down how long you think you've had this. Now, one of the reasons why I do this is because when we begin to realize how long we've had it, there'll be a time in our life when we didn't have it. Now, for people who say that they've had it all their life, I very highly doubt that unless it's a specific biological issue. Psychological issues usually come in through experience. So we got Chris saying like for 8 years he's had his. I know I had my issues probably ever since I was about 4 or 5 years old when I had them. And because I remember feeling very shy at that age. So we want to be able to get clear on how long we've had this. And then we can realize, having just considered that, well, if I've had it for, say, since my example, since I was 4 years old, that means I didn't have the issue for 3 years or 4 years of my life. So really want to be able to do that. So Natalie's saying that she really wants to go through this process, but I have to go out. Will you put up a recording of this, please? That is my plan, but you never know with technology. So if you can stay, people, please go ahead and stay. It's going to be important. But hopefully technology is on our side to make this happen. So hopefully that will be okay. So as I was saying about how long we've had this issue for, we want to be able to then realize that, hey, there has been a time in my life where I actually have had freedom. I may not have remembered it, but I have had freedom. Now the other part is, if we consider how long we've had this issue for, we can then go to ourselves and go, look, what was happening around that time? So what happened? Were we under some stress in our life? And it's okay. I mean, people go through things. I've had mine for I've let it go for so long now, and it was such a long time ago, I can't remember when I was working on this, because once the issue goes, by the way, it's very hard to consider the real core issue again, because it's no longer in your reality, so there's no energy to it. But if we consider the type of things which were happening in our life at that point, so it could be for some people, maybe we're going through a divorce, maybe we're having stress, maybe we're having problems at work or with our relationship. There's nothing bad in that in its essence. I mean, there's just us getting clearer of what may have been happening. And what we call these are significant emotional events. So SEEs, significant emotional events. Now, significant emotional events do not have to be very emotional for us, but it can be, of course. I mean, we go through stuff. I mean, things happen. But we can also have these subtle things at an unconscious level. The unconscious mind just kind of allows them to grow. But if we can just write them down, get clarity, it's going to be really good. So Kate says, if it goes back to childhood, some problems, how can we remember when we didn't have them? And she's saying she's confused. So don't worry about you not remembering them. I just want you and your unconscious mind to know there would be a time when you didn't have them. So don't worry about the details, like when you're like a day old, because we're probably not going to remember that. For some people they can, but the chances are we're not going to remember that. But what I want to do is have a good gauge as to how long we've had this issue, and also just the knowing at an unconscious level, there was a time when you did not have this issue. So if you did not have this issue once, guess what, guys? We can be free of it once again. That is where we're heading. So we want to be able to be really clear, even if we don't remember when we didn't have the issue, but I could roughly say to myself, maybe at 3 years old, I didn't have it because I remember when I was 4 years old. So that is where we just got to get a little bit clear on this. So let's see what we're saying here. So there's not necessarily regression. This is just thinking about the times, how long we've had this for. So we're not doing hypnotic regression whatsoever. There's just considering at a conscious level how long we've had this issue. So for someone, it could be, well, I've been smoking since I was 16 years old. And at the time, I did it for enjoyment because I was around with my friends. It could be, well, I remember when it was about 10 years ago, and I was going in for an interview, and I started having a bit of worry about the person, and they were feeling as if I was being intimidated. So that's when it happens. Yeah, I felt stressed or didn't feel good, but that is when things began to happen, okay? So, yeah, so people are saying some really good answers here. So it can be like from relationship when we're going through stress. So that is where we're heading. So what I want to go ahead and do is move to the next one. So just consider how long you've had this issue for, and also maybe what kind of thing, like the common trends we're going through. Were we experiencing some sort of stress? That doesn't mean a bad thing. It just means that when something happened, something happened. That's all it is. Like I know people say I've said this before, but when I was made to stand up in front of everyone, in front of all my class, that is when my problems really began to happen. So that was when the stress was there for me. So yeah, so people are saying when they're made to leave their 15-year-old to go to sea about 10 years ago. So there's some significant things here which are happening when the issue starts to exist. So we're just getting clarity here, conscious clarity. I know you know that, but I know that now as well. We're getting really clear on what the issues we've had, how we want to let go, like we let go, the symptoms, number one, and then how we want to be different. What is the main kind of trend there, and also how long we've had it and any significant emotional events we've attached to it. So we go through time and these events can build up. So if you have one stressful event, I'm going to get back so you can all see it. If we've had one stressful event and then we go for another one and go for another one, it becomes a habitual way of being. It feels like our identity, a belief system, a label. We begin to buy into it. But there was a time when we did not have it, but it was just because of some form of reaction to certain stress in our life, whether it creeped in gradually or was one of those big events that we sadly go through sometimes. But that significant emotional events or the set of events can lead things up. So, okay, so people are saying some awesome things here. I'm just reading them all. Okay, so yeah, so these are all correct. Whatever you're writing down seems all good to me from what I'm seeing. So we're getting just that little bit clearer. Now, one of the cool things I want you to think about is, because now we're getting us, if I can get back to this one page, I need to slow down a bit. I get really hyped up to help and be of value to you guys. So now we're getting the symptoms everywhere, okay? And now we know how long we've had these issues in our life, and we also know how we want to be different. We might not know how long specifically, but we know like a rough period. Well, we've had it for like 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, And we also may know some kind of stress we were under in those times, and even events after that, some like events. So it could be, well, I went for another interview and it got worse. I went for another interview and it got worse. And that habitual way began to just exist and happen more, okay? So we're going to get to the big question very soon, by the way, which will really get us to the core of the issue. And then I'll be able to help some of you guys if I can see them on here. So we've just written down all our symptoms right now, how we want to be different as well. What is the main thing out of these ones? So it could be this one just here. And then how long we've had it. Now, and also any kind of significant events we're going through at that time. So usually it's a stress of some way. Thank you for the wonderful feedback that people are saying right now. It really is nice to hear people enjoying this. Okay, cool. So we're getting somewhere. So now, this is the real cool one. It's really important to consider this one. So I'm going to redo this one a little bit cleaner. So we've got our symptoms in our life. And we know we have them in our life because we feel them or we experience them on a daily or weekly or on a minutely basis. And we know that something's happening here. I don't know if everyone can see it specifically. These are just S's and circles. And we know we've had them for a period of our life, and we know that we've experienced them in certain ways. We've had experience in life that has allowed it to increase, and it allows us to just get a bit more consciously clear. But the real purpose of this is also not about you consciously, guys. I hate to admit this, but this is about your unconscious minds. There's your unconscious minds I want to be working with right now at the same time. We're getting more clear, we're getting more specific, we're really heading to where we want to be by getting down these symptoms right here. And now we're beginning to ask ourselves, I want you to look at all your symptoms right here. And I want you to consider, maybe for the big main one, you remember I said there could be a main one to look at? So it could be like this one here. This was like the main one in my life, and maybe there was this one which was really main. So these symptoms are not cool, but these seem to be like the ones which are triggering other things. What we want to do now is ask ourselves, what is the intention, if I can point at the right one, what is the intention behind, there we go, this main one here and this one here? It's a bit hard seeing everything in reverse in my cameras and seeing 3 cameras looking at me. So we want to be able to just get clear on what's the intention by this. So I'm going to go quite deeply into this because this is vitally important if we want to let go of our issue. So here's the thing. Every behavior that you may have on this piece of paper of yours is horrible, right? We don't like it. We do not like the symptoms. They do not make us feel good. They do not give us emotional freedom that we're all seeking by being here today. It's not nice. I fully appreciate that. However, and bear with me here, however, we have to consider there is a positive intention behind that horrible behavior. So let me give you some examples. Let's think of one. So let's say anxiety. It's a real simple one that many of us may experience from time to time in our life. Anxiety is horrible. What are we doing? We're focusing on everything that we don't want to happen. What people are going to laugh at us. Or what if this fails? What if we look stupid? What if X, Y, Z? We experience and have those thoughts and those feelings. So why would our body do this? Well, the intention is to try to prepare us for all the bad things which could happen. Usually it's very primal. When back in the generations we were hunters and we had to protect ourselves. We had to look behind every corner. We had to be able to be aware of all the potential pitfalls in our life to survive. However, when we have it to this day, focusing on all the things that you don't want and causing you to feel bad is not cool. But what's the intention, the positive intent? So separate, as you look at this, your behaviors, your symptoms you're going through, what is the intention behind that? What is the intention behind the lack of confidence? Or what's the intention behind jealousy, for example? Does anyone know right now? What would be potentially the intention of jealousy? I want to see some answers on here. So what could be the possible intention? So here we go, fear of the unknown. So someone's saying there's absolutely huge, they totally got what I've said, perfect. So what could be, so insecurity. So what's the intention of insecurity? We do not, there we go, to protect ourselves. Thank you, Mighty Duck. which is really weird me saying thank you, Mighty Duck. But yes, it's the intention of protecting ourselves. We don't want to lose that person. We're going to try to protect them, and we're just going to get overwhelmed. Yeah, protection of your assets. All these things, these are protection mechanisms. The intention, so here we go, another one, to build a wall. Protection once again, right? Here we go, to protect ourselves. Fear of confrontation. All fear is a protection mechanism. Okay, so shows that you care. So here, jealousy does show that you care. So that is a positive intention. But what can happen is if we kind of overwhelm it and blow it up and we start to get crazy jealous, that's where the intention is good because it shows that we care. But the behavior, the reality of it is not increasing the relationship. So I really love it, guys, that you're getting this. So here we go. So Nina says self-sabotage equals to not feel failure, or to, I think it's the feel failure. So that is pretty correct as well. I mean, everyone's going to be different, by the way, but self-sabotage is a way, if I self-sabotage myself, I'm not going to go out there and do it in case I fear failure or in case I fail. So what else have we got going here? Make sure the assets like the other, people get over jealous, and then when they do that, it's a protection mechanism. Negative feelings from others get blocked inside. What is the intention there? I'm confused. Negative feelings from others get blocked inside. So I think it's Katie. What do you mean by that specifically? Write down a bit more information and I'll help you with that when you write down exactly what you mean by that. So insecurities and controlling people in your life. So if we're feeling insecurity and we're trying to control people, what is it? We feel like we're going to lose control. It feels like they could do something else. We don't feel secure in ourselves. So it's a protection mechanism. So we know that this behavior is absolutely horrible. We don't like it whatsoever. But the intention, please, 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 guys, consider this and know this. The intention is to be positive. So not to get abandoned is a protection mechanism. So if we have a fear of being abandoned, we don't want to be abandoned, so we do these behaviors, and that is protection. Fear of being ridiculed, someone's saying here. That is a protection mechanism. That means we're not going to go out there and step out and do some presentation in case what people say something about us, the way we look, the way we talk, all those things. It causes more harm, Chris is saying. Absolutely it does, but the key here is, okay, so Katie's come back to us, like when people say things to me that makes me feel angry, then I hold the anger inside. Okay, so here we go. What's the positive intention of that then? So what is the positive, I'm gonna put my pen down. The positive intention of that. So we're keeping emotion here. It's like we can't digest it. We're trying to figure things out. So the intention is trying to make sense maybe. It's a protective mechanism that if saying people horrible things to us, when we start to get angry, what is the intention of anger? Let's break it down really simply. It is to protect ourselves. If someone hurts us, I'm gonna get angry and do whatever it takes to maybe even hurt that person or to protect myself. So it's an intention of protection. Okay, low self-esteem can bring on jealousy. It absolutely can. So that's like a deeper part of the symptoms. So people are getting this right now. I'm really happy that you're getting this because this is where it gets really important. If we get so stuck on the hatred of the issue, when we get stuck on the overwhelming feeling of what we're experiencing on a day-to-day business of all the things that we don't want, and we experience those symptoms and we begin to hate our symptoms and the behaviors we run, we separate ourselves, we become more conflicted, we start to hate ourselves. And what are we doing when we self-hate? We're hating our unconscious mind, the very thing which is trying to protect us but doing it in a way which does not protect us. Here's the thing. If we begin to have that hatred or that dislike, or we see the behavior as being horrible, absolutely horrible, and I hate this issue, you are then saying to your unconscious mind, I hate this issue. But what was happening really? Your unconscious mind is trying to protect you, it's trying to help you, it's just not doing it efficiently. So by understanding the intention, the positive intention behind any issue that you're experiencing, all the things on this list right here, I know I've just put a few here, but all the things, if you consider the main intentions, That's what we're considering. Now, Chris Beck says fight or flight. Now, here's the thing about this, guys. I'm really pleased, Chris, you brought this up, because fight and flight is hardwired into your system. Completely hardwired. It's a biological reaction. That will keep you safe if you need it. That will absolutely keep you safe if you need it. But the overwhelming fear and anxiety for those associations that you may have does not keep us safe. If we let go of the anxiety, if we let go of the fear, if we let go of the limiting beliefs, if we let go of all the symptoms in your life, the fight and flight response will always be there. It's hardwired. The problem is that our unconscious mind is trying to overcompensate by creating these behaviors or running them on your behalf. Positive intention, but the behavior is not good. So just everyone be aware, if you let go of your symptoms today or the next week or the next year, I mean, even imagine that, if you let go of all your symptoms in the next 6 months, would you be happy? Yes, you would. So even if we retrain our unconscious mind to let go of the symptoms, all the symptoms you've written down so far, your system, your unconscious mind will absolutely have the fight and flight response, which is the protection mechanism. So we can embrace that. We can go, thank goodness for that, because I can still be safe. I can still satisfy the intention of protection, but without the symptoms. Without the symptoms, that is where we're heading. That is what we want. So there's a big question, guys. I want you to look at those symptoms and go, okay, maybe the main ones I'm experiencing, what is the positive intention behind that? Before everything I do, every behavior, no matter how good or how bad, there is always a positive intention. So get your mind out of the behavior. Get your mind out of the behavior, but into the intention. Because if we're into the behavior, we're creating more stress and more of a divide at an unconscious level. But when we get into the intention, we're building rapport back up to then redirect it to a new set of behaviors where you keep the intentions. I mean, how's the thing? If you keep the safety, if you keep every intention that we've been talking about, the ones you've written down, that'll be an awesome thing because they're positive. We just need a different set of behaviors to replace it, which actually keep us safer. That is why we begin to make changes. We have to be able to get the connection. I'm just going to grab some water, so just bear with me for a second. It takes a lot of the time to do that. Makes my mouth very dry doing this. So the positive intention for a beating heart, weak voice, and social anxiety. Protection. That's what it is. Anxiety is protection. Fear, what people think, is protection. You'll find that most of these are protections in some way. So my husband is very negative and I'm super positive. However, living with that brings me down. Of course it can do. So what we have to do there is we have to inspire them to be the difference. Bring it up to them. Ask them, look, how can we make things different? How can we get more of a rapport? How can we start to make these changes? Okay, so sorry, lots of questions coming. You need to decide on a new thought that you're going to put into our head when your anxiety is coming on. Plan ahead. Kit, you're absolutely right, and I hope to be able to make this even more automatic for that very soon. But the nature of knowing this will cause you to make changes. Eating inappropriately over here. Okay, if you're eating over too much, what is it there? Maybe it's a comfort situation. Maybe it's a stress thing. If we're very stressed, all overeating, all drugs, all alcohol to the excessive is really the intention of changing our emotional state. Because drugs, alcohol, food, they can make us feel comfort in the short term. They can let go of stress. They change the way we think. We feel bad, horrible afterwards. But the intention there is to change our emotional state. So what do you think the protection is behind, so what do you think the protection behind depression is? Well, if you're depressed, let me give you an example of one of my clients in the past. I won't say their name, obviously, that's what we do in this kind of field. But if this client had depression and they weren't able to work and all their family surrounded them and protected them, cooked for them, and they literally helped them everything, and the government in England, because there's to a certain point, it's very, very cool to help those who need it. We'll provide that person with money to get by, not a lot of money, but enough. And that person keeping that depression in that situation was, well, if I let go of depression, people may not care for me anymore. That unconscious belief system was true for that person. So they kept the depression because otherwise they'd think their family wouldn't pay attention to them. They would have to get a job and that would be stressful. So in that situation, it was a protection mechanism of feeling loved. Now, of course, it is completely different and unique for everyone here, whatever your issue you're going through. But even when you think of like protection is one of the key things around this. So depression, when it comes to depression, when we're feeling not good enough, when you think about that, not feeling good enough is a protection mechanism. Not feeling worthy, that means we get depressed. So that's the protective mechanism there. So our physical symptoms protection as well, absolutely. When I work with people who experience migraines come under stress and it's trying to get the body out of situations. Digestional issues like IBS can be very much about stress. Lots of things can cause physical symptoms. Even brushing makes the physical body go red. All those things. What's the body's intention behind ADD and ADHD? Here's the thing about ADHD, in my opinion. I'm not a doctor or a psychologist in that sense, but I think ADHD is really about different learning styles. I've worked with many people when it comes to learning. So when it comes to ADHD learning, we can get them to learn very quickly, just in like 10-15 minutes, by just giving them a new learning strategy and dealing and coping with information in a different way. So what do we do after identify the positive intention? Monica, you're jumping ahead. I love it, but you're jumping ahead. So we'll get there very soon. So what's the body's intention of chronic fatigue syndrome? It could be absolutely anything, but you ask yourself, when chronic fatigue syndrome happened, were we under stress? Really ask that question. Don't have to write it down right here, Deanie, but just consider, was I under stress when chronic fatigue syndrome kicked in? I was working with a client of mine just as last year, and chronic fatigue was the issue, and it all came about at college. And they were under so much stress, they could not deal with the situation, that their body just withdrew. They were trying to work so hard and just do all hours of the night, and they were not coping. They had to do stuff with their family. So much stress that the body just went, enough. Stop here. And the intention for that person, everyone's different, as I said, but the intention for that person was, when they're under so much stress, the body just kind of said, look, if you're not going to stop, I'm going to make you stop. And that happens all the time. I mean, if you're let's take an example of the migraine. If you're under so much stress, sometimes the body will go, look, you're not doing things in a healthy way, and it's going to give you a physical symptom. Physical symptoms, like I said, I'm no doctor, but with my research and doctors I have worked with, the stress breaks the chain of good health. So if we've got so much stress, the chain begins to break, but we can reconnect that with a new strategy. Okay, so self-worth, someone's saying here, that's very much a protection mechanism. ALS, I've heard of the term ALS, but I don't quite know. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, but I want you just to consider this way of a learning strategy, and even speak to your doctors as well. Because like I said, I'm no doctor, but I would like you to just consider the type of things. So Deanie said, my dad was hospitalized when I was a child for, I can't even say that word, and it was very stressful. There we go. If we're under stress, we can start to withdraw and kind of feel less energy in our system. So I hope you've enjoyed. Who's enjoying this so far? By just going through this discussion of what is the positive intention of this? What is the positive intention? Okay, sore throat, jaw issues. Someone said, I don't feel I can speak my mind. Absolutely. So yes, so people are saying, raise their hand, saying yes, they're enjoying this. Perfect. We've been going on for like 44 minutes. I've got to go to lunch soon. I haven't even done this. I might have to have a part 2 maybe, right? Okay, so let's keep going. Where do I want to be next? So we've figured out the positive intention here. Then, if we consider the positive purpose, yeah, thank you guys. I'm really appreciative of all the yeses here. You guys are awesome. This is why I love doing this. I want to be able to keep doing this. So let's move on. It's almost like when I'm doing my seminars and my trainings or my live group calls with people. I just love speaking to you. I love to speak to you guys in person, but I will speak about that another time. Okay, so bear with me, guys. I've got to look at some of these comments. So fear what other people think could be protection from unreliability of how other people can act and react. It absolutely can do. Let's just, rather going to the specifics of that, just think, is it a protection mechanism? Yes, it is. That's where we're going. So just consider that. So we've got lots of yeses, lots of learnings. Please have a part 2. Great, I will try to do my best. Can I message you on Facebook? That's what someone asked me. Absolutely, you can. And I'm trying to reply as many. Kit says San Diego flashback. She was in my seminar in San Diego. Kit is so awesome. She really is. So thank you, Kit, for being here. Thank you, guys. Brilliant. Yes, you can message me Facebook. The message went very quickly. But yes, you can. Myself or Sarah will reply. For those people who know this, sometimes I try to do a quick audio message here, but don't think that I'm going to do it all the time because we get a lot of messages, but I do my best. Okay, so let's get back to the system. So we've now understood our reasons and our symptoms as to why we have what we have to a certain degree. We know how we want to be, which is still number one. We then consider what is the main issue, like the main common things happening, and also how long we've had it and any big significant emotional events. And then we considered what was the purpose. Okay, what was the purpose behind this? What is the positive intention? If there's one thing you take away from this, guys, please take away the intention. The intention is a thing which is going to transform our life if we re-educate our unconscious mind. Forget about the negative behavior. Forget about it. Really do it. The intention is really, really important. Try to think of other cool examples, but yeah, I mean, just really focus on the intention for me right now. That's where we're going to be. So then here's an interesting one. I want you to consider, and I don't mean to push this upon you in a way which is saying it's your fault. When everyone says that, it's like, oh, he's going to say it's my fault. But I'm really not saying that. But what I'm saying is, I want you to consider the question. You may not believe this, but I want you to consider the question, when did I choose for this to happen? Now, I'm not saying, before you go crazy at me right now, I'm not saying you consciously chose it. But ask yourself, just gently, when did I choose to create this at an unconscious level? When did I choose to create it? What was happening at that point in my life? Maybe my unconscious mind said, look, you're going under like the chronic fatigue. You're under so much stress, so I chose to try to hold you back. Or maybe for me, when my teacher made me stand up in front of everyone, and as I was standing up in front of everyone, I felt all the energy attached to me, like being sent at me, and I was just feeling horrible, and my body went, Joseph, we got to get you out of here. And they gave all my fight and flight, the fear, the anxiety, the worry to get out of there. So I chose it at an unconscious level. So Nina said it is a difficult one to answer, so be gentle with this one. It's okay to just consider, if it's easier, consider how did I unconsciously create this? So usually that will help us with the protection mechanism, the significant emotional events. Be gentle on that one. So someone said mine was exactly the same as yours, as in my one there. Because I got lost in my way in my career. That's a good one. So now we're getting clear of the decisions. Now here's the thing with decisions. People create decisions all the way through their life. At any given moment, you're creating a decision. You're creating a decision to stay here. You'll create a decision to write down a message or to write these things down. All these things, you're making decisions. Now, the decisions that we make in the past will change how we go into the future or the present, or how we've become in the present. So now what we have to do is realize, if I made a decision, that decision was an unconscious one. If I have the unconscious decision, it means I can unconsciously undo it. There was a covert question for you guys. I was getting you to think differently in such a way that I was getting your unconscious mind to think, actually, no one did this to me. My teacher did not make me blush. My body reacted to what she said. You get it? My body chose to react in a stressful way or to create a decision. So by doing so, it tried to protect me. So the intention even intensifies now in a good way. But we chose this at an unconscious level for the positive intentions. Okay? So Angie says, I need to surround myself with positive, like-minded people. Well, we're of a like-mind, Angie. We're hanging out today. We can keep on doing this. We can take this further and help each other off and really make changes as a group together. So does this make sense now? So we've just done a mind shift that actually my teacher didn't make me this way, that the stress in my life didn't make me this way, but my body reacted in a certain way. Not the best way, but in a way. So once again, we're not putting blame on others. We're not even putting blame on ourselves because our body did this. Why? For the best of intentions. It did it based on all the resources and learnings and wisdom it had at that time. When I was a 10-year-old, I think I was 10 years old, 11 years old, but everyone maybe stand up. I was 10 years old. I was 10, 11 years old. I did not have the knowledge and wisdom as an adult. So my body made the decision best that it could at that time of my life. Even if you are, say, 40 years old and it happened last week and that decision was created, you are under stress. No one makes decisions good decisions in a stressful state of mind, right? Have you ever got angry and said something you didn't when you look back and you thought, oh my goodness, why did I say that? How could I even say things like that? Because you were under stress. You weren't thinking clearly. So our body makes a decision based on the knowledge and wisdom that it can make with all the resources it had at that time. The good, beautiful thing is we can then retrain our mind to do things different and keep the intention, retrain it to get exactly what you need. So my last question to get you really clear on this, are you ready for it? I want you to take a look at all your symptoms. Consider the purpose. Consider we created it at an unconscious level for the best of intentions based on the resources and learnings and information we had at that moment. And then ask yourself this question. As I look at all those symptoms in front of me on this piece of paper, so as you're looking at your piece of paper, as I look at this, what belief do I have about myself which makes all these exist? Ask yourself that question. I'll say it again. What belief do you have about yourself as you look at those symptoms that make this issue exist? So what belief do you have about yourself that, as you consider those symptoms, that makes these problems exist? And then I want you to just notice, be gentle and just notice what pops up. It could be something like, I'm not good. Here we go. I'm unlovable. That is a limiting belief right there. Now, going to Laurie, if you had absolutely belief of I am lovable, how would that transform all the symptoms in your life? Ask that question back to yourself. Here we go. So Brandon says, not good enough. People are saying not worthy. I'm not capable. I'm not worthy. See how we all have the same type of issue? Worthlessness, not good enough, self-esteem, all these things. So ask yourself, when it comes to, like there's one here, I am weak, goes into the same thing, that I'm not capable of getting myself out of trouble. Would not believe a child over an adult. These are all belief systems. Here we go. We're going to the core belief system. Absolutely right. If we now go to the opposite of that, feedback this question, guys. If you had absolute, I'm going to just do a quick recap. If I felt absolutely lovable, I felt absolutely worthy, I am absolutely good enough, I feel absolutely capable, I am absolutely strong, how would that let go or have an effect on the symptoms that I've put down on that piece of paper? What would happen? Would the issue go? If you had if you felt in every sense of your being, I am worthy, I am good enough, I am capable, I am strong, I am visible and people want to see me and I feel success, I deserve success. If you had that belief system, one of those or all of them, how would it transform all those symptoms? And write that down for me very quickly so I know you're getting that. If you had if you think about the limiting belief, which makes all of these, so if you had the opposite, or the thing which makes you feel good, so I am worthy, I am confident, yeah, so absolutely, my confidence will go up, yes. It wouldn't be an issue, yes. There would be no issues, absolutely. The symptoms would begin to disappear, absolutely, Greg. So that's where we're heading now. We've got to, there's where it gets really crazy cool, guys, because what I couldn't say was the fact of the truth. Putting practice is hard, yeah, but okay. So yeah, these are really good questions here. I could reach all my goals. The feelings I appeal are not my fault. I'm not responsible. There we go, guys. People would listen. I'd feel peace. Live in the now, stop thinking so much. I am worthy, my life matters. So I want you to write down whatever statement that you've just written down there. Okay, write that down. Someone said, I've done this before and it still returns. I promise you, if you get to the core limiting belief, it cannot exist unless there's another belief there happening. So then you have to ask yourself, do I have another belief about myself, which is even greater? And that will do that. Yeah, so you would no longer have to worry, you just live in the present. Business would grow by attracting better people, absolutely. I'd be confident, very worthy of everything. Okay guys, I'm really pleased that you guys are paying attention. And yeah, people say it boils down to self-confidence. Absolutely. That is exactly what we have to do. So now we've got that. So I'm going to move on from this now because with time at the essence, we're at 55 minutes already. So here's the thing. I want to give you some secrets, okay? As to just mind, so what do we do now? Okay, like I said, there's where we're heading now. So the nature of knowing the core limiting belief, your job is now to go for that belief system of learning and growing as much as possible. Usually we try to fight the symptoms, and guess what? More symptoms come back. If you let go of, say, smoking, people will go to food because you're not dealing with the intention behind it. If people let go of drugs, they can go running all the time because they need something else. So rather working on the symptoms now, guys, I want you to work on the absolute belief system. Everything you listen to of mine, everything that you choose to work with me on, any hypnosis, you have this in your mind. You solely work on that and then everything will transform. That's where we're heading. So, in order to be completely free of this, we now must take conscious action. We must realize that we must assume responsibility and not blame the external world or even our past or our unconscious mind. We must assume responsibility, take responsibility for this moment, for the rest of our lives, being a cause of this belief system, to take ownership over it and do whatever it takes to learn and grow from it. Here's the thing with limiting beliefs. They limit us. It says it in the sentence. But here's the thing about them. They try to protect us. If we can provide a safer way of being in this world, your system does not need to have the protection mechanism of that limiting belief because you've now got safety. So we have to, as first step to be able to get that freedom, get that safety, is to be able to take ownership over it. So rather being the effect of life, the effect of the symptom, the effect as to why you are like you are, you now go, I've been pre-teaching this the whole time, by the way, in a nice, covert, wonderful way of getting you to understand that we are in control of this. It may be hard at first, but now we're getting back into rapport. So now let's live on the cause side of the equation, assume responsibility for our life, and rather allowing life to be a product of what life gives us, we allow life to be a product of what we choose to create in this world. So we must assume responsibility. Now, one of the beliefs is that yes, this works for some people, but it won't work for me. That is a limitation we should be working on at the same time, and it usually is tied directly into that belief of not being good enough. When you don't feel you're good enough, of course you're going to have that belief system that it's not going to work for you. I know that because I've been there, and also every client, most of the clients I work with have that belief. Oh, Joseph, I see that you've done all this stuff online, and these could be kind of big name people. I've seen you done online, but you will never be able to do that for me. I appreciate that. I know that because that is a part of the issue, of the core issue. Low self-esteem, you will have that belief that it will work for others but not for yourself. That is a myth. It is just part of the symptom. If we choose to work on that issue, that will simply go away. So take that leap in working on that. That is where you start to make the change. You start to take ownership. You go, even if I don't know if it's going to work for me, do you know what, Joseph? I'm going to do exactly what you say. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to do all these things which will help me. I'm going to follow your instructions, or I'm going to just go on my own now because I know the kind of the core belief. All those things, you're going to start putting it into action despite not believing it'll work on you, because it is a myth, because you have... Yes, absolutely, guys. I'm really pleased you're liking this. We now have to take that responsibility. We have to assume that way of being in this world. And then we go. There's where empowerment comes from. There's where we start to experience the power and the joy, because we're assuming responsibility for who we are and where we're heading. That is what we're doing. We're refusing to allow the past to affect us and to bring us down. Instead, we're taking responsibility for this moment and doing whatever it takes in the most empowering way, by realizing that that myth that it can work for other people but not myself is a myth, and I'm still willing to do whatever it takes anyway. Great, people are saying they're feeling better already, and that's why. Here's the reason why. You're now starting to make unconscious shifts. You're changing your perception on things. You're changing your relationship to your issue. You're changing your relationship to your I'll do it that way because I was kind of swearing in England there. We're changing our relationship to unconscious mind, and when we do that, we get back into rapport. That is where we start to make changes. So let's go ahead and get things and make things better and do this and do whatever it takes. So one of the hidden reasons behind this was that we used to think the issue was a horrible issue, which it was, but the intention is the thing we must work on. We must work on the intention, transform the intention, reconnect with ourselves, and also to learn and grow whilst also, whilst also working, having your sole purpose on the opposite of the belief system that we just found out, which we just uncovered. If we work on that, guess what? I spoke to this last week. Last week we have our environment here. And on top of the environment, we have our behaviors. On top of that, imagine like a pyramid, we have our capabilities. And above that, we have our identity. Now, if we try to work on the symptom, which is in our behaviors or our environment, nothing changes. Absolutely. You may let go of one, but it keeps coming back. It's like pulling out a weed leaf and not really letting it go. However, if you work directly on that limiting belief, that identity, that positive intention, and really work on solely on getting the absolute opposite of that limiting belief, you will transform your capabilities to I am worthy, I'm good enough, and I can do whatever it takes. I'm able to now go ahead and take those capabilities into my behaviors and act upon them with inspired and massive action and conviction. And then that will mean I can go into any environment that I desire because I am on the right path, because I've started in the right place. I put my mind where it needs to be by working on the core issue. When we do that, everything will start to filter through. How long will this take us? It can take maybe a day, it could take a week, it could take 6 months, it could take a year, depending on how you actually start to apply this. Whether you work with me or if you work with others or if you just go alone, obviously everyone varies differently. Some people can be instantly. Some people can just wake up to this right now and go, oh my God, I suddenly realize. And unconsciously you wake up and you go, wow, I suddenly realized this crazy guy Joseph knows a little bit about something maybe. And your unconscious mind gets it because you've now reconnected. Other people will take time, but guess what? Investing your time, investing anything you can into yourself should be your must in every way. You start to invest in time and starting to apply this information by asking the learnings. Sorry, I'm always tripping over my mic stuff here. I'm getting excited. By getting the learnings, making the changes, by applying these things, reconnecting with yourself. Take time to spend with yourself. Take time to meditate, to listen to my hypnosis with the intention of resolving that limiting belief which we just came up with, which was hidden for so long, whilst also beginning to work on the opposite and realizing that life is here for us to be supported, for us to work together, to be able to be one group and really get to where we want to be in life. Even if that's just what I just said there, by the way, was like us as a group. But what I'm also saying is that you and your unconscious mind as a group, you two together. Sounds a bit weird, but ultimately it's your body reacting to your desires. And that is what we have to do to get things going. We have to be able to really make these changes. I'm really pleased with the feed. I'm trying to read and speak at the same time. Thankfully, my unconscious mind right now is supporting me by giving me information and providing me the resources that I need. One thing it hasn't done right now, though, is giving me a bit of lack of saliva. So let me have some more water before we move on. Okay, so let's go next. So the 3-degree shift comes from reconnecting with ourselves and making that change. Someone saying I should do a new book. I should do. I need to get my breath back first. The book could be happening soon. People need a daily pep talks. Yes, yes, yes. They're so cool, guys. Radiate, absolutely. So where are we going next? Okay, so you remember, your mind is like the satellite navigation. If you get into your car, you open up your satellite navigation or your GPS, you put in your destination. You do not put your destination as to all the symptoms. You will get attracted to those symptoms. Your brain will go, oh, you're thinking about symptoms. You're associating to them. I'm going to bring more of them into your life. Consider your brain, your unconscious mind, as being the computer of the GPS navigation system. We must now put our mind in the right place by working on the core belief and the opposite of it and learning and growing. When you learn and grow, you'll no longer need that limiting belief. You absolutely will not need those symptoms anymore because you'll be safer and better in every way. Now, here's the other thing. So with the satellite navigation metaphor, you put in your desired outcome. I want to be worthy, good enough, capable, all the things that you guys wrote down amazingly and epically so. We put that into our mind. We have that in the forefront of our mind throughout the day. When we wake up in the morning, I wonder how worthy I'm going to feel today. I'm going to wonder what crazy cool experiences I'm going to get into, knowing to bring out my self-worth and my capabilities. We ask ourselves good questions. We begin to focus on the desired outcome as to where we want to be, who we are, and what's happening in our life. And then, knowing our outcome, we take massive and inspired action as to what we're doing. What 2 or 3 things can you do right now to make that change? What 2 or 3 things can you do throughout the day to bring this out? Maybe it's listen to a hypnosis track. Maybe it is to get on these live talks or to speak to me in person. Maybe it is to read that book. Whatever it is, wherever you just like 5 minutes meditating with yourself to reconnect with yourself and tell your unconscious mind, there's no need for this limiting belief anymore. I can reconnect with myself and speak to it through learnings and getting better. All those things we can do. We take massive and inspired action. We do whatever it takes. We invest in time. We invest in ourselves. If you're not investing in yourself, like I said, it doesn't have to be monetary, but it is all about time. You have to be investing in yourself to make this change. You have to do that. And think about it. The time you put in now is far less time than you're putting into your issue. How much time do you experience and put time into experiencing anxiety, worries, doubts, fears of not being good enough or worthy, the fear of not feeling strong inside, the fear of all those symptoms? How much time do we put into that throughout the whole day? How much time is wasted in our thoughts, focusing on all the things which might happen, which never always happen? When you think about all that time you're putting into it, you might as well put all your time into yourself instead and re-educating yourself to make the changes that you want in your life. That is what we have to do. We've got to radiate what we want. We've got to take action on what we want. So, what else are we going on to? So knowing our outcome, we're taking massive inspired action. As we go through things, you're going to start to experience the world fight back a little bit, and that's okay. Have you noticed that when you start to make changes, the world will just throw something at you and like to see if you've really made a change? In Huna, they call it like the devil, like, and the metaphor of like, once you make a decision in your life, you're going to make a change, the devil will start like it prod you with the old issue to see if you're really ready to step up. Life happens like that. That's an analogy, by the way, but sometimes when you start to make these changes, yes, that anxiety might come back for a little bit. It might kind of spike up. It might do those things in your life. People might say something to you, all those things. But there's a thing, if you start to wake up and realize, I appreciate what the world is trying to do, but I am committed in doing whatever it takes to let go of this issue, it will start to make that change. That is what we have to do. Yes, things will not go our way. We have to be flexible in our behavior. And here's the good news, guys. You are here today. You are a survivor because through your biology right now, all the way past from the generations in your life, all the people who came before you had the ability to adapt to their environment and survive. Some species have died off, unfortunately, because they could not adapt to the environment. But guess what? You are an adapter. You are someone who does make changes. You are someone who is able to be flexible in your behavior in a biological level. So now it's time to bring that out in a psychological and conscious level. So that means when life does throw something at you and it's not going your way, you go, that's okay. I'm going to keep on learning better. I'm going to show the world how much I want this. I'm going to show the world as to how powerful I can be. I'm going to show the world that I am worthy and good enough, even if I don't believe it consciously right now. I'm going to show the world that I can do whatever it takes to make this happen, because I'm not going to invest my time and all the stress and worries and the negative thing. I prefer to invest my time in making the changes that I want. Investing that time to do whatever it takes, to do the work, to wake up and be conscious of all the things that you're doing in life, and to realize there is another way, that life doesn't have to just happen to you, but you bring things to life through your thoughts, through your feelings. It's like, I'm sure you guys invest and go to the gym sometimes. So you might even just invest in the membership and not actually go. But here's the thing, you would do that because you want to be healthy. You would do that, you eat good food because you want to eat healthy food. You appreciate the value of your body. You go and socialize because you appreciate the friendship around in your life. You have family and you like your family or love them because you appreciate them and you want to share the love with them. You appreciate all these things. You look after your house because you don't know if there's a guest going to come around and you want it to look nice. You appreciate all these things. But now it's time to appreciate your mind, yourself, your conscious mind. Rather just combing the mirror, we want to be able to comb ourselves to work on the inside. When we have the relationship that we want inside of ourselves, when we start to connect with ourselves to make the change, that is when everything begins to happen. So we're going to take that inspired action and do whatever it takes, be flexible in our behavior, and begin to hold ourselves accountable, whether it be as a group together, or whether that be working with me, or whether that be working with your friends, whether it be just working with your unconscious mind to hold that accountability. So we're coming up to the end right now. If I told you there'll be a big reveal, I've been talking about it for the last few weeks, even last month. It has finally happened. And this is only for those people who are interested. I am not going to take on everyone at all because I want a small, comfortable group where you get to speak to me in person. So imagine this, but we're on the phone together as a group and I get to speak to you and answer your questions and also give you exactly what you need. But I said it's not going to be for everyone because I only want the real committed people who are doing whatever it takes to to do whatever it takes to make the change. So if you're willing to put the work in and to match my enthusiasm, then there's that opportunity. But if not, you take this information and you start applying it and crushing it and doing whatever it takes. But if you want to work with me and also get my confidence program, all my confidence programs, all my happiness, anxiety, all these things, as well as speak to me twice a month in a group, every first Saturday of the month and every third Saturday of the month, we talk on the phone as a group to make changes. So here's what happens. I'm going to be going crazy reading more information each and every time. So when we go on the phone, I start to speak to you about the thing I'm learning this week, the thing I've worked with other people, and then I'm going to take those learnings, I'm going to put it into a hypnosis track for you, and then you get to listen to the track. And also before that, you get to ask me questions. You'll also get to speak to my dad, so there'll be lots of other calls available as well as other inspirational people. Even some celebrities may be jumping on this to be able to be interviewed to get their insight onto this. So we can dig deep into their mind and pull it out and get to what we want. You get all my hypnosis sessions. You also get the day and the night version, which is not everywhere. So because I can't put it all in my app because it's just too much, but I can put it into this new system. So I've managed to figure out a way to make that happen because otherwise I'll break the app and we all lose there. But we'll put it into this new web-based platform. And this means that you and I can speak on the phone together as a group every month, twice a month, as well as other people, as well as you get every 4 days, you get the new confidence program with the refurbs, the reorganized, the PDFs, the downloads, the high quality audio, which is like the brand. I need to stop for a second, just relax. I'm getting too excited. What we're going to do is get the high quality version of the confidence program, and also ultimately we're going to work together, get all my hypnosis. You're going to get the replays of every live audio call that we have together to get in the library. That means if you miss the call, you go ahead and watch it. I've been on courses like this before for business, and I've loved it because everyone who phones up will ask a question. I wanted that question answered as well. So sometimes I didn't even turn up knowing that my question would get answered. But you can also send me an email to myself or Sarah, and we'll be able to answer those things. So yeah, someone said, don't break the app because I need it every day. I like to listen to my own stuff. So yes, we can't do that, but we can put all the hypnosis stuff onto my platform instead. So it's going to be awesome. It's not going to be for everyone. I am going to limit it to a certain amount of people. I've been telling you, I've been testing this for a long time with my group, and it's working. And that is only going to be for those who really want it. So I'm not going to even write a link in this videos on Periscope and Twitter, because it's only for those people who have stuck to this point. It might not be for you. It might be too expensive to you. It might be too cheap to you. It might feel that way. You might think, oh, that's way too cheap. I'm not going to do it. It's not going to be good quality. Or you might think, oh, it's way too expensive. You'll know the difference between the investment in yourself and if it's worth it or not. So I only want those people who can match my commitment. As you know, I love doing this stuff. So if that is of value to you and you want to take the leap in transformation so we can work from day one, or not day one, but week one, which is next Saturday, I believe, getting on the call together and working purely on letting go of the limiting beliefs that we just spoke about today. If not, you can use other systems to do that, but if you want to get involved in that, here is the domain name. It's www.josephclough, which is CLOUGH.info/mind mastery. josephclough.info/mind, as in the mind, and then mastery, because that's what I want to get. Mind mastery, having our mastermind group together is working. It's not going to be for everyone, but it's. So someone say I'm still shaking. Thank you, Joseph. So that's good shakes. That's like pumping us up to get to where we want to be. So if all the information is on the website. I'm not going to go into prices or anything like that. I want people to actually actively research this. I'm not here to sell this, by the way. Although I am, but I'm not here to sell you on this, because if you know me, you're going to get the value from this. So go ahead and look at that if it's of interest. If it's not, absolutely, we'll still remain friends. We'll be on here live. It just means you won't be able to speak to me in person or have that frequent live calls. So it's only for those who really want that. So invest, look into it, research it, and see if it's something that you want. So I hope you enjoyed this, guys. I've had so much fun. I've gone through pages of notes right here, and here, and here. I've gone for a whole bottle of water. I hope you enjoyed that. I loved it, and always know that you guys are worthy and brilliant, and that I love you guys, and you are awesome, and thank you for all the likes. We've been going for an hour and 15 minutes. I've got to go out to lunch. I'm going to be late, so have a great day. So the link again very quickly is www.josephclough, which is CLOUGH.info/mind mastery. josephclough.info/mind mastery. So someone did just request me to do that. So thank you guys for all the wonderful feedback. Yes, Laura, you did. I'm so pleased to have you in the group. Yeah, it's going to be absolutely awesome. I can't wait to speak to you, Laurie. Someone's actually put the link out there as well. So thank you guys, and just know that you guys are awesome, and I fully appreciate all your feedback and kind words. So have the most wonderful rest of the day, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. I'm going to try and turn off 3 cameras.
Do you ever wonder why positive thinking seems so hard when you're facing challenges, and why no matter how much you want to transform your life, you just keep coming back to the same old patterns? I want to share something with you. I know how to help you overcome your problems and issues that have been driving you crazy for years. so that you can finally begin to live the life of your greatest desires and dreams. Now, I realize that's a big promise, but you know what? I'm without doubt and with total conviction and belief that I can back it up. Plus, I've got over 15 years of consistent results to back it up. Can I ask you a question? Do you ever feel like there's so much information out there, but still your issue remains in a constant thorn in your sides? You may be getting totally confused and overwhelmed and feel like giving up as to how you should be spending your time in order to live your best life. Does that confusion ever turn into frustration and despair? If it does, it is definitely not going to get you closer to living your best life. I'm an expert at reprogramming, retraining, and transforming the habits and beliefs that are keeping you from living your best life. I have developed, cultivated the simplest but most profound, effective way for you to finally break through your barrier. You see, this is the one thing you must know that no one wants to let you in on. You have been sold a lie. Let's be real for a moment. Let me start by saying this. Nothing changed for me until I decided to change my mindset. I realized that if I do not invest in me, no one else will, and nothing will ever change. I mean, think about it. You may be investing your time watching TV, wasting time on Facebook, and more time procrastinating things rather than doing something for yourself. You may be spending big money on going out or buying more materialistic things that you may not even need, and carrying out instant gratification, spending habits and behaviors to change your emotional state, and at the end of the day, to continue to feel bad. Think how much time we waste not living a life being free of our issues. When I considered my priorities of what I was doing back then to what I really wanted out of life, I was shocked and, to be honest, almost ashamed. But you know what? That lightning bolt of clarity did something to me that created a huge shift in my life that I have never regretted since. I began to invest in me, in time and in money, whatever it took to get to where I wanted to be. Many people will never do that. You see, people like us are willing to make things happen no matter what, and the others, they sit, they wait, and they remain the same. It really is a critical difference between getting what you want out of life and unhappiness. It separates us from the doers and the hesitators, the game changers and the excusers. Anyone who's achieved anything, from the world changers and the leaders, the Einsteins, the Luther Kings, the Gandhis, the world record breakers, your idols, and those who you want to be like, they all stood up and took action on what was right. And if you want to change, you must do what is right for you and surround yourself with those who are able to help you just do that. Invest in yourself and be awesome. This is real talk because someone actually has to say it. So please, please, please stop watching this video any further if you're the type of person who A, does not want to change and achieve emotional freedom, B, someone who is unwilling to stand up for their self-worth, and C, does not value investing in themselves to be all they can be and thrive. This is the honest truth. The only way to achieve emotional freedom is to begin by taking responsibility for your actions, your thoughts, and subconscious programming. The truth is, you must be supported in the right way to get to your results. Society, friends, family members, although good intentioned, cannot always give you the best support. You have to surround yourself with people who can either want what you want and are committed, or those who actually have the knowledge to get you to be where you want to be. I want to give you both at a level that gives you total momentum, drive, support, and proven results. How many times have you ever read an inspirational book, watched a video, a podcast, or have gone to an amazing self-improvement workshop, you leave on a high, ready to change your life forever, but then a few weeks go by and before you know it, you come back to the same old patterns. Let me tell you, this is absolutely not your fault. Our subconscious minds have been conditioned for many years, 20, 30, 50, 60 years, by the beliefs, thoughts, actions of our friends, teachers, parents, society's expectations, and not cool experiences. And frankly, the list goes on, and it includes everyone and everything that's ever had an agenda or an opinion about anything. The only real way to experience lasting change is to take responsibility for our beliefs, thoughts, and actions so that we can design our dream life. The only way to do that is by reprogramming our subconscious mind and being supported by those who know how to get there. The secret to lasting transformation is the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind runs automatically in the background of our lives. This is why we cannot change consciously right now, because if you could, you would. Think about it. Do you ever remember when you first learned how to drive a car? Or even when you consider when people were learning to walk? That process began at a conscious effort, but within a few short months it became an unconscious program, something you could do automatically. If you have a habit or a belief that is holding you back for years, that you've been unable to break, it is because there's an undesired, unconscious program that is running automatically in the background of everything you do, think, and feel. Unless you identify, let go of, learn, and replace those subconscious automatic programs, you will continue to experience a life that does not reflect your greatest dreams and desires. The bad news is you cannot fix these issues consciously. You must meet them where they live, which is the unconscious mind, to get the expertise that you need. The good news is this is exactly what I'm going to do for you. It is who I am, and I'm here to help you do it. I'm here to help you make the powerful forces of your subconscious mind work for you instead of against you. I'm here to help you reprogram your mind for success every single day. So let me introduce Mind Mastery. As a member of Mind Mastery, I'll be there to make sure your subconscious programming reflects the life of your greatest desires. After conducting thousands of individual hypnotherapy sessions, having helped over 5 million people online, I have figured out the secret to the most effective techniques that will help you unleash the power of your subconscious mind in favor and on a daily basis. Plus, I'll give you a total edge on life and your dreams by giving you the absolute conscious tools that will make you a powerhouse in any and all areas of your life. So now let me ask you this. Why do we spend time cleaning our houses? Sounds like a strange question. Why do we get dressed up when we're going to an important event? Why do we even purchase gym memberships? Just one person will spend thousands of cumulative hours in their lifetime maintaining their appearance, their house, their car, and spend thousands of dollars each year, every year, to feel happier about themselves and those around them. You see, that person may have Netflix memberships, gym, yoga, CrossFit memberships, go out to restaurants, get Starbucks coffees, and so on. So why do we do them? Because we can see these things and other people can see them too. It's frustrating to see these things we care about looking dirty, disheveled, or unhealthy, or not to have certain escapisms for ourselves. For some, a messy home can be a major cause of unease or irritability and even anxiety if company is coming over. Now contemplate for just a moment how much real profound time our mind gets to an efficient, clean, and aligned to emotional freedom. Is your mind being taken care of like your house, like your own appearance? Does your mind feel conflicted, disheveled, locked up, and unhealthy? And we just don't clean our house once, or style our hair perfectly once, or go to the gym once throughout our entire lives. We do these things on a weekly or even daily basis. An athlete does not just train once, they train with momentum and get more and thrive. Yet a messy and conflicted mind will be dominated by negative subconscious programming when unattended to. But today, right now, you have a choice. And there are only two options. You can continue to keep doing the things you've always been doing in order to continue experiencing the life you've been experiencing but expecting different results, usually referred to as insanity. Or make the decision right now to clean up and cultivate your mind to success. Starting today, you have an option to take the power back and to make life-changing decisions that reflect your greatest dreams and desires. Mind mastery is the way I'm going to help you, just as I've helped thousands of others, from celebrities, singers, athletes, to anyone else in any field or circumstance, and here's how. With Mind Mastery, you're going to get a monthly live coaching, hypnosis, and Q&A call with myself. All change and transformation and results only come from persistence momentum, and is vital to get not only the support but the monthly live support and motivation and expertise to get your results fast. And guess what? If you miss a call, no problem. All live calls will be completely and conveniently placed in an exclusive area so you can have a replay and download at your convenience. You also get an unlimited access to all of my hypnosis MP3 library. Around 186 hypnosis sessions, but also in day and night form, which is really 50% of these titles are unavailable online, on my app, or anywhere else. You also get access to my all new and always adding to new nighttime transformation hypnosis sessions, which really allow you to transform while you sleep. And get this, you're gonna get my 6-week complete confidence mastery course, which I sell at $1,997. Also my 6-week freedom from anxiety course at the same value of $1,997. My 6-week happiness unleashed course, same value once again at $1,997. And also my 6-week be your potential video mastery course, a video complete from one of my seminars which will guide you through the whole program of being your potential. This is accelerated, this is extreme transformation, and a bonus, you're going to get my allergy freedom course as well for anyone who's suffering from allergies. You're also going to get my members only support Facebook group, a supportive members only group guided by myself and my team, where you can be heard, share your progress, post burning questions, and receive answers. As well as that, you're going to get over 200 videos from me in one place from my archives. These videos will be all about fears, phobias, financial abundance, improving focus, weight loss, happiness, relationships, motivation, confidence, decreasing anxiety, overcoming work-related issues, learning, improving public speaking, and much, much more. You also get early access to all my future videos way before anyone else, and you also finally get a 20% discount off all my events and courses, which is unavailable anywhere else whatsoever. So in all honesty, you can either remain the same or step up and make the most crucial and most important investment you will ever make. The investment in yourself. You have to position yourself from someone who is just staying put, remaining the same, having reasons and excuses, and continuing that repetitive patterns of old habits, beliefs that no longer support you, to someone who is going to step up, take responsibility, and immerse themselves with the absolute knowledge and the techniques and tools to get your result, not only in one area of your life. This is getting your life to the maximum, to really have that mind mastery. Now, what you can do is you've got ultimately two options. The first is pay monthly. Now, usually this is $97 per month, and it's probably going to go up even higher than that soon. But because you paid attention for this long, and I can tell if you're still watching this, you are ready to make the right decision, I'm going to let you in for only $57 per month. Now, as I said, you get all of the live coaching. The once a month, you get to speak to me in a group setting, ask me questions, we'll talk about certain subjects and do a great hypnosis session, get all the replays, all the 186 hypnosis sessions, all the 6-week courses, the exclusive support, the YouTube library, my podcast library, and 20% discount on all the events that I run at only $57 per month. Now, the better option and most popular option is to pay yearly, which is also actually a 55% discount, okay? Usually it's $997, but you're getting it for $447, okay? This only works out at $38 per month, and let's put it into perspective. You're getting a monthly live coaching, hypnosis, and Q&A call with me every single month, which means ultimate momentum. That is only $19 per call hypnosis session, let alone $1,000 worth of audio and video, and also the online support. If you feel it's not worth that, then this program is definitely, absolutely not for you. And I'm just being honest here, being totally upfront and honest. If you do not see the value in getting just the the live call, to get the live coaching and hypnosis sessions with me at only $19 each, plus all the value of the audio and the video courses and everything else, then, as I said, to be honest, it's not for you. It's not going to fit well with you. It's something that I wouldn't actually want someone like that on my course, because I only accept those who want to master their mind and see the value in transforming themselves, where they see the value of what they're presently doing and thinking, is what I want actually mirroring the behaviors that I'm doing, and investing in time and educating myself and getting the right tools and the right solutions and the right support. I want the people who see the value in themselves to make that change. That is what it's really about. If you see value in letting go of an issue, not only just there for a few weeks, but consistently, whilst getting the inner game in your health, your relationship, your career, your finances, your emotional well-being, your emotional freedom, if you see value in that, and if you price that value at $38, I know obviously it should be thousands of dollars, but obviously we live in a real world, and I want to help you in this group for only $38. If you see value in that, then this is exactly for you. If you do not see that as an investment, and you maybe prefer to have that money spent elsewhere, maybe in those unproductive habits and behaviors or spending habits, or whether it be overindulging the things which are just keeping you stuck, if you see value in that, that's fine as well. But once again, it's a tale of two people. The person who stands up and sees value and investment in themselves, that's what it is, in valuing yourself to such a level that you want to immerse your mind and body into in such a way that gives you that emotional freedom, compared to the person who wants to remain the same. And I'm really going for this in a passionate way, because I only want the same type of person who's passionate about investing in themselves. So if you see value in this, you can sign up for pay monthly at $57 a month, which is usually $97, and it's going to get quite a bit higher than that very soon, and this is like a one-time offer. Or you can pay the yearly, which is a 55% discount of only $447, which only works out at $38 per month. That is all, and it means you're going to get all the value of the live coaching, the replays, all of the hypnosis. I mean, just that alone, the day and night versions are so valuable, as well as my 6-week courses, which I sell for $1997 each, as well as the private group only for members, only those who are on my team who want to thrive, as well as all the other bonuses. You can go ahead and sign up today. Join now on the bottom of this page. And I really look forward to seeing you on the course, speaking to you hopefully on the live calls, as well as on the Facebook group with my team, to really get you to be your potential, to get that mind mastery, and to live a life of emotional freedom. So I'm so excited for you to have a sneak preview of Mind Mastery. This is so awesome, and you're going to take your success and emotional freedom nowhere we've ever been before. This is going to be the thing which changes everything. This is a game changer right here. So as soon as you've actually enrolled, you'll get here onto this page. Now, you can get started by just clicking this button right here, and it'll give you the information about the live mastery coaching calls. Now, of course, I've actually blurred out some of this information because it's only for those who enroll. There's a group for people who are really ready to step up, and you'll also be able to notice there's a Facebook link here to get into the exclusive Facebook group, which means we can keep each other accountable, we can support each other, we can help each other, and my team will be there to support you each and every time that you post a question. We can direct you to the right audio, the right video. Everything is catered for you right in that Facebook group, as well as in this Mind Mastery program. Now, as we just go back to the beginning here, you'll also notice in this start category, you can actually get the live Q&A replays from each and every one of the live calls, as well as right here, the live hypnosis session replays. I separated them. That means you can actually just get the hypnosis part of that session, or just listen to the Q&A and go to the hypnosis part of the session a bit later on. We also have the gratitude wall. Now, there is a great way to keep you motivated. Imagine seeing so many people's gratitude. You're going to pick up on that energy. It's going to give you ideas for gratitude. You're going to be able to change your emotional state. Your state that you have right now will be the thing which allows you to move forward into the future. So the more gratitude we have, the better we're going to get more success. So I thought that's a nice, cool feature that we can just have this wall of gratitude. Now, going back once again, we've got all these down here. Now, this is pretty immense. You can actually access it from this top menu to the left here as well. So we've got the Hypnosis Vault. Now, you have every one of my titles within this Hypnosis Vault. Now, the great thing about it is they're in day and night versions. Now, most of these are unavailable anywhere online. Usually I just sell the day version or just the night version. So for example, let's go ahead and check out one of these titles. So we got the complete relaxation here. Now you can play this straight from the desktop, or you can download it and import it into your device. In fact, even if you're in mobile, which I'm going to show you a mobile version of this site, you can just let it load up, then put your phone onto silent or to put on airplane mode, and as long as it's buffered up, it will keep on playing. So you can listen to any of these as you go to sleep, and that goes for all the audio and videos. You just gotta let it buffer up for a few minutes, and that should be absolutely perfect. But each and every one of these titles that I've ever done are in the Hypnosis Vault right here. We also have the Video Vault. Now, here you can actually get all my videos in one place. For example, we've got the Facebook and Periscope live ones in this category right here, and you can just scroll down and it will always be updated. So that means you get them as and when I release them. As well as that, we have the nighttime transformation sessions. We have the restorative version. That means we're restoring our mind and body. We've got the one which I released right in the beginning, which was so successful, which is a general transformation, and then a specific confidence one. Now we'll be adding more different nighttime transformation hypnosis sessions where you get 3 to 4 hours of awesome, amazing, life-changing hypnosis sessions. And you'll be getting access to those as and when I've edited, uploaded, recorded, and so on. And then right from the bat, you're going to get access to the Complete Confidence Mastery audio course. This, without doubt, will transform your life. This alone is worth $2,000 and on a money level, but way beyond that. But you're going to be getting this each and every four days. You're going to get access to a new model. I do this because it means you have time to practice what you've learned. That is so important. So every 4 days, you'll get access to a new module. So we're just going to click in right here. We've got the PDF downloads you can download. We've got the highest quality of the audios, all in here to get you that complete confidence. And then below that, we have the Complete Success Mastery to get you started as well. We've got the video right here and the hypnosis sessions accompanying it. And it really is going to make a wonderful change as well, getting the success in your system. We also have the Freedom from Anxiety audio course. We have the Happiness Unleashed course. We have the Be Your Potential video course. Each one of these are going to be really of value to you. This was one of my events. Not many people, it was a small group of people paid a lot of money to be here, and I recorded it and put it up into the Mind Mastery, and you're going to be getting that access after the confidence, after the happiness and the anxiety. Then you're going to get this. There's going to be a real sense of alignment here. And once again, I actually created the audio version of this as well, so you can take it on the move. So if you don't want to just watch it, you can actually listen to the audio version, download the manual as well. So let's just go back. Well, what else do we have here? So we've also got the Allergy Freedom course. This is going to be absolutely vital. If you have any allergies, I know this is going to let it go and get you to where you want to be, as well as the podcast as well. I just put everything in one place. This is your hub where you get everything that I do pretty much. The Hypnosis Vault, the Video Vault, the Nighttime Transformations, each one of the confidence, the Freedom from Anxiety, the Happiness Unleashed, the Be Your Potential, they're $2,000 each. So you're going to be getting all of these within the Mind Mastery membership. We're going to do it in such a profound learning state. And once again, we have the Facebook group. You're going to have all the things that you need here. As I said, the live replays, the gratitude wall, the live Q&A replays, and we can also see the mobile version. So let's just have a quick switch around so you get to see that too. So here is the mobile version, and once again, it's very, very handy. It's all mobile optimized, and you can just tap into any one of these categories, go to like module 1, and then you can go ahead and play that title. Same thing goes for any one of these. So if you're on your mobile, you can access all of this as and when you need to. So for example, let's go ahead and let's take the ADHD hypnosis track, and you see the play bar here. You can actually mark everything off as complete as well. If you ever completed a lesson, you can mark it as complete to track your progress. But it's all here for you, mobile optimized, able to be able to help you get that mind mastery. This is a game changer. If you know me, if you like my work, think of this as times 100. You're going to get far more. You're going to get to speak to me. You're going to get guest interviews. You're going to get information. You're going to get insight processes which will be unavailable anywhere else online. You will not get it anywhere else. This is going to be exclusive for Mind Mastery members. So you're going to absolutely thrive in every way. This is all about making sure that you personally get the right support at the most beneficial value that you can ever imagine. So I'm making this very exclusive, and only those who are willing to stand up and really make the differences they want to in their life, because it's all about assuming responsibility, taking responsibility for your life and investing in yourself through money and time to make the changes. And when you begin to do that, I promise you, in every way, the day you take responsibility, the day you invest in yourself, you will start to see magnificent changes in your life. You will profoundly go forward in all areas of your life. And I want to be able to give you this hub, the Mind Mastery membership, that solution for you. As I said, you're going to get so much value here, and it's only for those who are willing to stand up, who realize the value in investing in themselves, in their well-being, in their emotional freedom. At the end of the day, we must put the highest value on our emotional freedom and our well-being. If we're not doing that, then there's kind of a bit of an issue there in your priorities, and I want those who are really valuing and investing in themselves to make the changes that they desire. And as I said as well, you're going to get the live calls every month where you can ask me a question in person. You can either send it to me before, you can type it in on the call, or you can actually be put on the line and speak to me and I will answer the question. We'll also be talking about certain topics. I'll be adding some bonus ones in there as well as a live hypnosis session. And you can begin to vote on what you would actually like on these live hypnosis sessions as well as you've got the whole library of all my hypnosis audios all in one place with a day version and a night version. and the video library and the night transformations and the complete confidence mastery, the freedom from anxiety, the happiness unleashed, and the Be Your Potential video course, which are all sales at $1997. But you're getting all of these over a period of time at only $38 per month if you go for the year option, or $57 every month. I always recommend going for the year option because you're going to get the biggest savings right there. And to be honest, that price, as well as the monthly price, will be going up very soon. And let me tell you why. It's going to go up because, firstly, I want to make sure I'm going to give you the offer of a lifetime first. Okay, you're my first priority. You're stuck with me at this point, and I want to give you that priority. But then I will be moving it up to a higher level because at the end of the day, the value is there, and I want to add more of my energy and time into that. So that's where it's going to go up, and it's also going to scare some people away because I only want the right people, those who, as I said, want to be able to get that emotional freedom, are willing to do whatever it takes with me to make that happen. So sometimes the increase of value will actually scare those people who are not going to bring our group down, who maybe need more one-to-one level or more education when it comes to personal development. I want those who are really ready at this point of their life and to know that this is something that they want. So the value will be going up, and also because I need to make sure the numbers are right. You see, I don't want millions of people in this group right now. I don't want 100,000 people in this group. I want a tight-knit group which allows each other to support each other and to really grow as a person. Now, what I'm also going to be throwing in occasionally is I'm going to get my dad and also some special other guests to actually do audios and videos for us too. That means you're getting absolute value from me, but I'm going to be giving you exclusive access to the people in my life who support me, advise me, and help me grow as a person. And they have so much advice and knowledge to give you too. So we'll be definitely setting that up in the very near future. And you're going to absolutely love it. So that's where the extra calls come in place. And as I said, you're always going to get a replay of all of these. And even if you, for example, know you can't make the call, you may send a question into me and I will answer it, and then you'll get the answer on a replay. So either way, you're being catered for, and I want to make sure that I get your results in the most profound way. And remember, this is not like going to the gym once and then expecting yourself to get a completely different body. You have to have that consistent action and that momentum, and this group is purely designed for that. Absolute momentum, continuous growth every day, every week, every month, and every year, taking yourself to new levels that you can only ever imagine. So this is real consistent transformation. That is how I've got myself to this point. I have dedicated myself to my emotional well-being, which has allowed me to actually have more free time to help those in my life. So if you're one of those people who think you don't have the time to invest in yourself, first of all, your priorities are a little bit skewed. You have to put your priority on yourself first before you can help your health, your relationships, your career, all the people in your life. Your priority must be on yourself first. If it's not on yourself first, firstly, you're not getting all the education and attention that you need. And secondly, those in your life are going to get the weaker energy of you. But the day you start to just immerse yourself, invest yourself, and apply yourself and enroll yourself into personal development as a way of being in this world, you'll not only be able to support those in your life to such a level that they begin to change, that they begin to get the most value out of you and be able to experience you at your fullest, but you'll also get more free time in your life because your mind is clear and aligned as to where it needs to be. You see, if you could let go of any issue, you would. If you cannot, it means your unconscious mind is running the issue. And if we're out of rapport with our system, you're never going to change. So you might be thinking that there's too much of an investment in money, which is wrong because it's very, very valuable. And trust me, you're not going to get this anywhere else. Or secondly, you might think that you haven't got the time to do this. Well, your mind will get more confused and more conflicted as time goes on if we keep an issue. That is the truth. The more we have an issue, the more ingrained it gets. But if we can start to repattern your mind and body, you will get that flow in your life. When you're in that flow, life works for you rather than against you. Your unconscious mind works for you rather than against you. Those in your life will start to be attracted to you far more and work for you rather than against you. Your health will begin to work for you rather than against you. Your finances and every other area of your life, when you begin to reflect that tranquil, most aligned and focused and positive mind, everything in your mind and body in every area of your life will absolutely transform. So that is why I want those who value that, because that's my highest value. And I always like to think I want to surround myself with people who want to be able to be like I want to be. I want more love in my life, I want more emotional freedom, I want freedom from issues, I want absolute success in money, in business, in health, relationships, careers, all of that. I want those who match that with me. If you find that you want something enough and you're sick and tired of having an issue and you're just ready to let those go and rather have reasons and excuses as to why you are like you are, and you're going to position yourself from a place of taking responsibility, you will make the most profound changes in your life. That is what I'm about. That is what I want to give you. I'm going to allow our unconscious minds to work together, because when I'm speaking to you, I'm not only speaking to your conscious mind, I am deeply talking to your unconscious mind to free yourself up, to resolve conflict, to let go of issues, and to get you where you want to be. That is the question we have to ask ourselves. If you think of your dream life right now as to where you want to be and where you are right now, what value would you put that on? What would that give you if you could make that complete transformation? What would that allow you to do and to be in life? How would it transform each area of your life? How would it transform those in your life? If you could, throughout the days, weeks, months, and so on, and actually far past your goal itself and get even more than that, would that be of value to you? What would you place that value? Okay, what would you place it at? Where would you gauge that value? Now, if you're someone who's saying, well, I'll probably gauge investing 5 minutes of my time a day, or 1 minute a day, or maybe once a week, I want to just kind of work on myself. This is absolutely, categorically not for you. And I'm being honest here. It's just not going to work out. You continue to listen to some of my free audios and videos if you want, but it's not going to work for you if you're not going to put the effort in. Because I want those people who are willing to invest time in making the changes. Now, I'm not saying you have to do things for 4 hours a day or 5 hours a day. I want you to be able to educate yourself to such a level that you get that emotional freedom. So you've got to ask yourself and position yourself into one or the other. The person who's going to stay the same, the person who doesn't see the value in investing in themselves, the person who doesn't want to invest time in making changes, the person who maybe wants to have reasons and excuses as to why they are how they are in life. They think they've tried everything and nothing's going to work, or they think that it might work for others but not for them. If you want to be able to stay in that area, I'm not saying that is you, but if you want to be someone who doesn't want to invest in their emotional happiness, then that's absolutely fine. That's all I'm saying. That's absolutely fine, and this program is not going to be for you. I promise you that. But if you are positioning yourself from a place of power, a decision that you think, okay, I don't even know if it's going to work, but I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Or you might go, I've tried many things in the past and I've seen many people in the past, I've read all the books, all the podcasts, but I'm still ready to do whatever it takes and make that change. Then that is the thing for you. If you think that, yes, I'm willing to invest in myself and do exactly what I have to do to make that happen, this is absolutely for you. If you want to be able to get yourself from where you are to where you want to be in such a profound, quick time, and actually in a fun way, then this is absolutely for you. And I'm only saying this so you understand the differences between those who are mastery members, who want to be mastery members, and those who it's not for. So you could say I'm repelling some people, and I'm not ashamed of that because, as I said, you are the sum of those who you surround yourselves with, and if I'm going into a business with someone, I want to make sure they're all in the same path, that we're all pulling in the right direction. And that is why I don't want those people who do not value emotional happiness or emotional freedom or not willing to put some time in, because that will bring us all down as a group on this program. Now that means nothing about them as a person or as a group of people, but this program is just not for everyone. That's what the real deal is. It's not for everyone, it's for those who want to position themselves on the side of success. So I'm really driving this home because this is my baby. This is why I put so much energy into, and I don't want people who are not going to add value to the group, because we can all inspire each other as a team, as a family, as a membership. We can inspire each other and ask questions and get the questions answered, and I want those who are willing to support. I want those who want to be able to be a part of a team and make changes in their life. I want those warriors who want to be able to stand up and get that emotional freedom and really thrive in every area of your life. That is what I want, a part of this. This is what we've got right now, and no matter what, I do not want anyone to take anything away from that core value, the essence and the mission and the vision of this program. That's why I'm so passionate about getting the right people. So you can choose to be a part of this, or you can choose not to. Either way is fine. You just have to make the right decision for you, to make the right investment, whatever it is for you, to make that happen. As I said, this is completely for those who want to change. Because remember, if we take responsibility for our life and we put our attention as to where it needs to be with consistency, with the right support, with the right audios, the right videos, with the right verbal support, with the right hypnosis sessions, the live ones, with the right support group, you will be able to make profound changes. You're going to be able to let go of issues. You're going to be able to get exactly what you want out of life. Rather being a product of life, you allow life to be a product of what you choose to create. Rather life coming for you, you go for life and thrive in every way. You bring your world to life. That is exactly what this system has been designed to do. It's about, like anyone who wants to invest and be able to change their body shape, they work at it. They begin to consistently learn and grow as a person. If you want to get better at your job, you continue doing your job until you get to where you want to be, and then you continue to progress through the promotions and so on, but you put time and energy into your job. If you want to be able to learn to walk, you put time and energy in learning to walk. If you want to learn to drive, you put time and energy in learning to drive. That is what I'm on about. That is where we're heading when it comes to excellence. If you invest as much time as you do with your emotional energy on an issue, on getting the solution and immersing yourself with knowledge and wisdom, you will dramatically make profound changes in your world. You will dramatically be able to see success. You will be able to really thrive and grow in every way. And it doesn't matter where you are right now. You see, you can begin to feed the issue, the excuse, and the experience of your issue, or you can choose to feed something else, which is empowerment, which is positioning yourself from a place of power as a team, as a group, as a member in a way that allows you to be the best you for yourself, for your family, for those in your life, for your job, for your career, for your own health, your emotional well-being, and freedom. That is what we have to do. Position ourselves from a place of power. And I'm going to give you as much energy, as much support, because I not only believe in this program, but more importantly, I believe in you as a person. I have total faith, total belief that you can achieve your desires and be free of conflict. I believe I've got the strategies, but I also believe that you are capable, because I have done it for thousands of people and I've had the feedback that this stuff works. So I know that you're going to make the changes that you desire if you take that responsibility. This is all about you. There's not even about me. I have put this out there and I want those people to be a part of this movement, this group of absolute mind mastery. But it's not about me as a person. There's something far more important. This is about you. There's about your mission and vision. There's about where you want to be as a person. This is how you're going to position yourself from someone who doesn't want to put the effort in to those who do. You're going to position yourself from a go-getter to those who do not want to get anything. You're going to position yourself from someone who wants to make changes or just simply doesn't want to make changes. That is what it's all about. Positioning yourself to the place where it needs to be to put your attention to get you the results that you desire. And that is why I'm offering this at the lowest value or the lowest price as I possibly can do, all for you. Okay, this is what it's about. There's who I am. That I'm going to support you in every way possible. Now you just have to make that decision to be able to do whatever you want. And I'm absolutely at peace whichever decision it is, because I know those who are meant to be on this group will be on this group. Those who are not meant to be on it, and as I said, it doesn't matter if you do or do not, but those who do not, that's absolutely okay, because they're not meant to be on it either. So I hope you got value out of this session, and I really want you to thrive. And just remember, I'm here to support you in any way that I possibly can. This is the best way of doing it, and I really look forward to seeing you on the other side. We're going to have so much fun, absolute transformation in every way.